So the objective for this assignment is to draw each one of these shapes in one Onshape document. And a good reference point here is using these images here. So you're going to draw A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And remember that each cube is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. You do not need to include the individual lines. It's not going to be like block by block. You're basically going to draw this shape. You don't need to show the individual blocks in your drawing. Okay. So to start this, we're going to go over to Onshape. Remember, to create a new document, you're going to click Create, Document, title this as Cube Drawings, and hit OK. First thing you want to do is make sure your drawing is set to inches. So up here on the left-hand side next to the title in the logo, the Onshape logo, there are those 3 bars here. If you click those 3 lines, there's a bunch of stuff. Click Workspace Units, and just double check and make sure you are set to inches. It should be. If it's not, you can change that to inches. It might be on millimeters, but change that to inches and hit check mark. Great. So this is our workspace. What we're going to do for this one, we're going to draw this shape here, the basic L shape. So we're going to start drawing this on the front plane here. So I'm going to click the sketch button, the sketch icon here. The keyboard shortcut is Shift S, or I can click, and then I need to click the plane I want to work on. For this sketch, I'm going to click on the front plane. Now, I want to click the front view on the Navigator cube, so I reorient myself so I'm looking directly onto that sketch plane. Now, going back to the drawing here, each one of these little cubes is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. So, knowing that, I know that this cube is 3 inches tall, 1 inch across, and then down on the bottom it's 2 inches wide. First thing I'm going to do is just draw out the L shape. I'm not worrying about dimensions just yet. So I'm going to click up on the toolbar. I'm going to click the line tool, so I can click the icon, or hit L for line. Now what I want to do is draw anywhere on the sketch plane. I'm going to click once and release to activate the line tool, and I'm just going to draw, making sure the lines are straight and perpendicular. So I'm just making the L shape. I'm not worried about the specific dimensions just yet. You might have to zoom in a little bit. You'll notice that, for example, for right here, I want these to be even. I can hover over the line I want this to be parallel to or line up on, and I can just highlight and hover across, and it will know, Onshape will know that I'm trying to line up with the specific line, and then I can connect these across. Great. I can right click and escape the line tool. Now, what I need to do is dimension these. Going back to this drawing, remember, we're just doing the 2-dimensional version. We're just drawing this L shape here. We're going to extrude it to make it 3-dimensional after. So it's 3 inches down. So let's dimension this side here. I know from here to here is 3 inches, so I click the dimension tool up in the toolbar icon. You can click the icon or hit D for dimension. Now I can click the line once, release, drag out, and I'm going to type in 3 inches and hit enter. Great. Going back to our picture here, I know it's 1 inch from here to here, so I will add that dimension in. So I'll hit the dimension. I'm already in the dimension command. Hit this line, type in 1. You'll notice it's kind of recreating my drawing. That's okay. I'm going to draw the bottom, dimension the bottom here. It's 2 cubes across, so I know it's 2 inches. So I'll click this line, type in 2. This will be 1. And our cube is fully defined. Now, we're almost done here. We have our sketch, so I can accept the sketch by hitting the green line. If I rotate around, you'll see, or if I change the view, you'll see that I have my 2-dimensional sketch. Great, I just made the front outline of this drawing here. Well, I need to extrude this to make this a 3-dimensional object. So Up on the toolbar icon, I hit the extrude tool or hit Shift E, click once. Now it'll bring up this box again. It'll give you options to create a new extrusion, add one, remove something, or intersect. This is the only drawing here, so we're creating a new extrusion. It's going to ask you to click the face or sketch that you want to extrude. We're just going to click the center here, that gray transparent area. I click once, and it's going to activate that extrusion. Now, what you want to do is already set to 1 inch, right? If we want to make this wider or the extrusion longer, I can type in whatever it is. Say I want to make it 2 inches. Before hitting the check mark, the green check mark, I can left click over here in the workspace and it will let me preview that before I accept it. So I can keep taking, maybe I want to make it 3, see what that looks like before I actually accept it. For this one, we want to make sure this is 1. Hit 1, preview again, and hit the green check mark. And we have our L shape. Great. Now you'll notice on the left-hand side, it shows us our sketches, our extrusion, and it will also show our part down here. Every time we do a new extrusion from a sketch, it will create a part. It's a good habit to label all your parts. So for example, this is shape number B. I'm going to title everything associated with this. I can right click, rename, and type this as shape B. So I know that's shape B. That's a shape B sketch. I'm going to rename this as this extrusion as shape B. Again, this is not essential, but it does make it easier to read your drawings as we start getting into more complex parts. So we have our isometric version of one shape. We're going to draw all the shapes in this one document. Watch the second video as I go through drawing more shapes and show different features.